definitely. So 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, and away we go. That was a very short pause there.
Tanish just picked up a great start there, had the momentum already. Chris Pine not really pulling out as much as he'd want to.
Oh, and there's a Red Bull and of course in the off the track, the Red Bull has suffered the most. Thermophobe has lost his quite a huge chunk of his front wing and is at the back of the grid. Meanwhile, there's a Toro so as well on the S curve of the track and has lost his front wing
That
as well.
will be Vinay there.
Towards the end of the race, probably with these hard tires if he puts on.
Meanwhile, he spins out in the first corner itself, loses a couple of positions there.
Oh, and I've noticed Renault spinning and Chris
Both Abarpan and
has spun.
Chris Bai have spun on third and
To race conditions after your qualifying session.
Oh, Alter goes into the inside of 130R. Sentience keeps it ahead. But
yeah, just about goes slightly off track in doing that.
Oh, and the McLaren loses quite a lot, and that gives RB a better advantage and takes the position from Alter to P6. A huge chunk of grip on his tires.
As I say that, Sentience did not get a perfect curve on the smooth curve, so that might have affected his times there. And RB is trying to capitalize on that, going on the inside of the
130R and makes it stick. Sentience had to go off the track a bit, try to avoid the Red Bull, but Red Bull managed to make the.
I mean, he's losing about a second and a half, or about a second at least, on the car ahead. A lap.
Meanwhile, Abarpan just goes too wide on the smooth curve and capitalizes on that, which will be 3.
Meanwhile, Matsumasum and Danish are kind of way ahead of the pack. 5 seconds gap between Matsumasum and Don, and Danish probably has got a huge breather over there after Chris Bhai spun off.
Yeah.
Well, he certainly has. I mean, he's building up about a second a lap advantage on Matsumasum at least. If I can remember correctly, 16 laps.
But it looks like drivers are not able to cope up with the tire wear right now. Meanwhile, Akash is trying to go for overtake on Thermo. Goes down the outside, but Thermo gets the better line and Akash has to back off.
Meanwhile,
I guess he can
Abarpan, meanwhile, Abarpan is trying to make a move on Akash Hegde. Oh, Akash Hegde goes too wide.
He takes the easy overtake right there. He jumps to P7. Before losing, like I would say, less than 15 seconds. So because of that,
Matsumasum would have seen that message that Tanish has disconnected from the session.
Meanwhile, Alter just spins out. He hit the curb on back because of that 5-second serving of the penalty. Alter takes the lead from Thermo.
Speaking of that, RB is closing in on his championship rival. He can see him ghosting. He knows he can. He has a huge opportunity right here.
Yeah. And I think before 130R itself, he will get Vanish's ghost. Yep, he does get him.
Yeah, interestingly, RB is not gaining as much as I would have expected him to on Abarpan. He's got about 6 lap fresher time.
He's just becoming a setting factor to Abarpan.
Yeah, he's certainly going to come out P5 if he does pit at the moment, but if he's going to maximize a chance on the soft tires, having a charge at the end of the race, he has to come to the pits now.
Yeah, he has to definitely pit right now if he wants any chance of finishing in higher points as possible. Oh, and Abarpan dives into the inside and he cuts a huge chunk of corner, gets a 5-second penalty for that. But Masum still manages to stay outside, and that will help RB Farello close into both of them as well. Oh, and Abarpan going for the inside, and he goes a bit more opportunistic over there, and that was not a move you should be doing considering the situation of Masoom over there, and he loses quite a lot of places. So, and meanwhile, this gives a huge opportunity for RB Farello, who is now 3/10 down on Masoom, and he's probably looking for an opportunity at the hairpin. Will he dive down the inside? No, he stays back, tries to keep it safe, and looking for. Oh, and he spins, and this is not what you're supposed to be doing. While you had a huge opportunity of probably winning this race.
Everything is happening here, guys.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like whatever we are thinking is quite happening the opposite right now.
I think he's aware that he has to be very sensible here, given that.
Oh, and he goes around the outside, but Abarpa goes all on the outside, tried to block him, but misses it, and Tanish takes the advantage. And looking at his ERS deployment, Tanish was pushing quite a lot. He's not 8% ERS, but Abarpan is looking racy, trying to take a.
Also, Tanish used a lot of his fuel there because his engine seems really hot, probably using his car in the rich mix.
Yes. And he's meanwhile taking the DRS advantage that he has. Goes side by side. Will it end up Baron turn 1? Ahead. And both side by side towards turn 1. Tanis takes the lead into the turn 2 and gets his position back what he lost before he disconnected. Meanwhile, Masoom is struggling quite a lot, and that is giving Abarpan a good advantage. And Krisba as well, who is keeping up with the pack and hasn't lost an inch of his pace.
I've got to say, Tanish, they're judging very, very correctly. Braking and the damage on Notso Masoom and exactly where he was braking. Not diving down in the last chicane, waiting out for the main straight, getting the better exit, and getting the move done on DRS.
Because of their battle towards turn 1. And there Abarpan takes the curve and he slips out, and Krisba almost got collected by that, but his quick reflex helped him a lot, and now he's going in. Now he's going to for a battle with Masoom.
And he has to make a mistake, not taking a risk.
Speeding a lot, and that's not what he's supposed to do. But Krisba doesn't care. Gets into the inside, gets the overtake done, and jumps to P2. All the position that he lost, he has finally gained, and he's now on P2. Probably not be able to fight for the lead of the race, but definitely has gained a lot of races from where he fell.
Definitely the wiser way to get ahead there.
One warning this whole race, without considering the fact that he was disconnected for the few laps, but still quite a clean race. And Chris Bhai meanwhile has to be 2 warnings.
There is a lot of action that went down in the first S section in the back of the field. Thermos spun out, Sentience spun out.
I can see a McLaren off the track.
Yeah.
He has lost a huge chunk of his front wing. Hamilton almost missing the pit barrier, crosses the line. The Japanese free.
Chris Bai is about to cross the line next.
Final corner. Oh, and he was side. Probably would have also if he wasn't careful. So cross P3, but Abarpan crosses and takes P3 from him. And Masoom only 0.05 of a second behind Abarpan. That was very close to finish by him.
Yeah, he certainly had that 5-second one. I think one of his penalties, he had to be within a second there.